There we go. Welcome everybody to DeFi Derby Friday night. We have some special guests in the house with us tonight. This will sort of be a little unique. We have a husband and wife that'll be joining us tonight, and not necessarily team. Both of them have their own tokens, and so I find that to be very, it probably very challenging. I'm sure there's probably some competitiveness between them, and probably a lot of fun, both of them having their own tokens. So welcome, Corey. She's the owner of AutoBTC, and David, he's the owner of PlayFi. So welcome, guys, to DeFi Derby.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yes, it's been a little while since we had you on. So having you both on here tonight, I think is pretty unique.
Yeah, we've never done a joint kind of, AMA hangout sesh, so it should be interesting.
Yes, I sort of want to look at this a little. We want to dive into the projects, but maybe just make it a little personal too, if you don't mind. How does this work? Both of you being project owners, and maybe give us a little bit of background on yourselves.
Babe, you want to go first?
You can go first if you want.
No, you start.
All right. Hi everybody. I'm David. I've run PlayFi, and we've been basically building games for the last couple of years during the bear, and just using that time to just kind of test ideas we have out with games and build this backend that we've been building that works with all of our other games that we're working on. And then, during COVID, Corey and I both kind of got into crypto because of SafeMoon, and just kind of got hooked that way, really. And then we decided, I don't know, a lot of the games at the time were, fairly basic, play to earn games. And I don't know, I use Unreal Engine every day for my regular job, and I just knew what you could do with Unreal Engine, so that's what we've been doing, is making Unreal Engine games for EVM blockchain. So yeah, that's what we've been working on. And then Corey was, wanting to stack Bitcoin, and I'll let her tell her part of the story.
Yeah, so I kind of got into Web3 and crypto like a couple weeks after he did. Like, he started trading. I think one of the first tokens we had got with SafeMoon, so we were like, huge fans of SafeMoon. And as he was learning how to trade and build, I was off moon girling, following all the SafeMoon crew, and kind of established my own views and relationships within cryptocurrency and Web3. So after the crash of the Green Giant, SafeMoon, it kind of went back to some of the original people that I had made friends with through David's projects, and was like, oh, these are my actual friends, right? Not, I felt like I had deeper and better relationships with them. So I was like, I'm just going to do what they're doing. So I have kind of been building instead of the trading and moon girl meme crap. And now I am solely focused on reflectionary token and building. So I'm going to use PlayFi as much as I can, because hey, that's one thing I got in my back pocket. I really can't wait until some of these games come out. We're kind of, everyone here, I'm sure, is used to the tap games, and then you go and play their games, and they're in Unity, and they're basic, right? what he is building, what my husband is building, is not basic. It's beautiful, and we need that in Web3. So I'm really excited to kind of harness the power of Unreal Engine and use it to help boost and build our reflections. So we have 2 games that'll be coming out, AutoBTC. They're both from PlayFi. One of them is a pinball partner table with, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Interlink. Reflector is going to have a game, and then Baby Doge has a game. We've got several cryptocurrency projects that have elected to have PlayFi make them a game. So for us, we're going to be doing the pinball table partner level, and then we're also going to have our own game. It's tentatively titled Auto Flip. And now we have a third utility or potential utility that we're chatting about. I'll let David explain more about that. But we started as AutoBTC, standing for automatic Bitcoin, but we may have a different spin on AutoBTC for this sort of phase 2. But right now we offer 7% reflections in Ultra Bitcoin. That's the self-reflecting Bitcoin from RocketFi. If you've heard of the Ultra Blues, so that's what we reward in. It's 7% for buys, and then right now it is 4% for sells. David, you want to talk about that other utility?
Sure. So with our island that we're creating, it's oahuKnights.com if anybody wants to check it out. It is all based on real satellite data of the island of Oahu, and so we've recreated it in Unreal Engine, every square mile. So I mean, you can drive forever basically. And what we're doing with that is we are nesting all of the games that we create inside this larger open world, where everybody can, drive through the island, play their games if they want. They can find a game they're really good at, play that, or they can just drive around and cause chaos in their car if they want. But it's a multiplayer type experience where you and your friends can join. You can all hop in a car together, go driving around. But the first step to doing that is making cars readily available on the island. So we have all the roads and everything in there. We are still adding all the buildings and structures that go in there, but in order to travel through the island right now, you're going to need a vehicle. So we are going to start with our first car dealership, where AutoBTC will be the owner of the car dealership, and they will help facilitate buys and sells of vehicles for the island. Those are in the form of upgradable NFTs, and so people will be able to go in there, use a car if they want. That's just some basic car. If they want something nicer, they can go and purchase one from the dealership. There are ways that you can go in and actually upgrade the vehicle later on as well, and upgrade that NFT with those new traits. And then basically all the car and truck buys and sells will be through AutoBTC's dealerships. That'll be throughout the island. We'll have other phases as well, where we add on motorcycles and planes and boats and all of that, but the first phase will just be cars and trucks. And we'll go from there. But yeah, so that's one of the things that we're going to be doing with Corey's project soon. There'll be a little bit of a rebrand on the token, but the token will stay the same name and everything. That's what we've kind of been chatting about, what she wants to do with it. But yeah, so we'll start that. I'd say within the next 3 months, getting, I already have the dealership 3D model and everything. I just have to get a few of the cars ready and fully rigged up so that people can, drive around in them. At first, when we add it, we'll just have a dealership in there where people can walk in and hop in a car and go drive it around. So it'll just be free to, test all the vehicles out. but it'll come to a point where we'll clamp that down, and whenever you load up, you'll just load up with a, kind of a junky car, and that won't be, super fast, but it'll be enough for you to get around the island and not being annoying. But then if you want to upgrade your car so you're faster, because there's going to be like car shows on the island that are all multiplayer. So you go in, enter the car show. If you win money, things like that, pink slip races, all kinds of stuff. So having a vehicle, there'll be benefits to having that vehicle. And if whatever vehicle you own, if you purchase property later on, your car will load up, in that vicinity. So whenever you spawn, you'll spawn at the home you own, and your car will be out in the driveway, so you can just hop in your car and then go do your thing. There's fast travel and stuff on the island too, but that'll come in a later date, and that's using another one of our partner projects tokens. So like if you want to fast travel, you might need a certain token to fast travel throughout the island. But yeah, so we're trying to work in all these different ways to interact on the island with people, as well as, giving volume to all the partner projects that we're working with, but also making it to where you're not getting like nickel and dimed, everywhere you turn. So there's kind of a fine balance with that, but the vehicles are kind of the first step in bringing people onto the island. So, but yeah, so that's what we've been working on with AutoBTC, trying to figure out, the next step that we can do with AutoBTC.
That's pretty cool bringing that on for her. So yeah, that'll be a good revenue stream. And you talk about nickel and diamond people. Well, you play these games. If you want to upgrade, you need to upgrade your weapons or your armor or whatever. It costs us. So
Oh yeah.
it's you're not doing anything that other games don't do.
Oh, I hear you. No, we're just trying to make it to where, like the value of the stuff is at the beginning fairly low, and as it grows, it might grow more. I just don't want to charge somebody $200 for a car,
Oh yeah.
and make it to where the barrier of entry is way too high. So we're just trying to be, cognizant of all that, but it should
I
be
got a
pretty
couple
cool.
questions in the chat here if you want to touch
Sure.
on them real quick. Okay, one is somebody asked if it would be less time consuming to work and focus with one instead of doing two projects together. I'll
So
let you answer
right
that one if you
now,
want. Or
oh, you're fine. Right now, I just focus on PlayFi. Corey's handling all the AutoBTC stuff, and what we do is we just kind of play off each other, and she might get an idea for something, and then I can tell her if we can implement that, or I might get an idea for something, and she'll tell me if it's a bad idea or not. So yeah, it's kind of nice because we're able to just bounce ideas off of each other, and it's somebody that you trust, and it's not some just random person on Telegram you're taking advice from. So we're it's kind of helpful that way, but no, that's one thing. It's we are trying to make sure that we don't bite off more than we can chew all at once, by doing what we're doing. Like that's why I'm partly kind of offloading this dealership stuff over to AutoBTC, because it'll take a little bit off of my shoulders, but it'll also help Corey, and it'll help all the people that are in AutoBTC. So yeah, we're trying to kind of spread the love, and as we grow, we're going to bring other projects that we were working with already, into the fold as well. That'll kind of help with that. And yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing right now. But like Crypto Ball, that's our first kind of proof of concept. It's ready to go. I'm just kind of getting the website ready with the leaderboards, getting that stuff finalized. And while I've been working on that, I've been doing tests, and I have somebody I've been paying to help me on the island, getting some of the tasks that are, I don't know, fairly tedious that I don't have the time for. having him do that. That way, you know, that takes stuff off of my plate. So yeah, it's just a matter of trying to be as efficient as possible with our time, you know, while we're building several different things. So, you know, it's possible. It just takes a lot of organization.
Oh yeah. Canner, I hope that answered your question there. There's another really important one I seen in here too. Which project is better, yours or hers?
Nice. Not even stepping in that one.
Oh man.
I'd say Corey's. What do you think, Corey?
I've been waiting all day to answer this one.
Oh my goodness. I will say that PlayFi is way more mature than our project, and that is simply because we have been cognizant of how time consuming it is to work on both at once. So letting him flesh out PlayFi benefits not only our partners, but us. So we are kind of in a holding pattern right now because of that. It's also, you know, David's a creative person, and sometimes you don't want to work on the exact same thing all the time. Also, I'm not really much help with PlayFi. They have a professional marketing team now, so they really don't need my help. And I don't know anything about Unreal Engine, but I'm trying to learn how to be a shitcoin dev. So, you know, that's my contribution.
Okay, I'll quit trying to play Jerry on you now, so I'll leave that alone.
I figure, you know, any knowledge of crypto, even if it's a bad experience, you still learn something from it. So
oh yeah,
it's good for her to kind of get her feet wet with all of it.
Definitely.
I've now learned that if it says safe in the name of the token, I run from it.
Yeah, man, there's so many scammers. It's insane. That's one thing I can't wait for regulations to come in. It's even just like the littlest amount of regulations. Hopefully, a lot of the scammers go away, but we'll see.
They're always going to play around the edges for sure.
True, but yeah, hopefully, I don't know. Telegram itself is just a freaking cesspool.
Yes, it is.
So, in reality, both of you have your own unique projects. You know, I like reward projects, so that's what drives me to AutoBTC. And of course, I like Corey too. But you know, I'm not a gamer, but I like seeing people build and work. So yeah, I like what David's doing too.
Oh, I appreciate it. We're still growing, but yeah, and I still haven't forgotten about you. I plan on having a horse track down there.
See, you gave me an ideal when you was talking about the autos. Let's see, we got your horse track, but on the inside, and then around the outside of it, you're going to have a race car track because I like race cars.
Yeah, see, we can work stuff out like that. That's the good thing about that island being so gigantic is I have plenty of room to play with.
We can build our own version of Dover, Delaware, which has it has a horse track in the middle, and then a mall racetrack around it.
Oh yeah, if you send me links to that, just so I can, I'll have it as a reference.
Yeah, I'll find that for you.
Awesome, thank you.
It's one of the tracks on the NASCAR circuit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not much of a NASCAR guy, but it's fun to watch though. Whenever you do watch it.
Yeah, I used to be a huge NASCAR fan. I knew everything.
I kind of stopped watching, I'd say, when Earnhardt died.
Yeah,
so it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years since I've really gotten into it like I did, but
yeah,
I keep an eye on it. Oh yeah,
it always seems like it's a good time outside of the track too. Just all the stuff that.
Oh no, it's a drinking fest.
Well, the first year
I heard somebody say Earnhardt, Dale Earnhardt, and I tell you, this is really crazy, and I probably don't know why I'm telling you, but one time I was at work, and I saw a picture of Dale Earnhardt, and for some reason I just envisioned something in my head, and I was like, I don't know why I was thinking it, and that him wrecking and dying or something like that, and I looked at, I don't know, I thought it already happened, like literally, and I looked at my coworker and I said, he's dead, ain't he? He was like, what are you talking about? He's like, he's not dead. And I was like, but didn't he just like die like a week ago or something? He's like, no. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And he's like, kept looking at me like, what are you talking about? He was like, I'm going out to the race. I don't remember the date and all that because it's been like a long time. But so he went to go see that race. Dude came back and was like, or whatever it was, however he died, I can't even remember now, but whatever happened, but he ended up dying like a week later, and he was just like, he didn't even want to talk to me about it. It was weird.
Next time you have a dream, keep it to yourself.
I know it, exactly. I know, but it's not the first time I've ever had. But I've had bigger visions than that, though. It's weird because like everything that I've ever come up with, I've told people. So it's like I have evidence that I actually came up with. I can't just like say, hey, I can predict stuff. I don't believe that necessarily. I'm not saying I even believe that I did predict anything, but I do know I said it. But I've said other things, like even bigger historical things, and they've like happened. But it hasn't happened since I was younger, But I look back at it and I'm like, how on earth did I get so close to these particular things, And it's just kind of strange. We need a predict token. I see your future.
The
You
8-ball.
billionaire.
We need a magic 8-ball token.
Anybody have any questions so far for Corey or Cube?
I do, actually. So you was talking about you'll be able to drive around the island and things like that and cause mayhem. So I'm assuming that you're kind of talking similar to like a GTA style.
Similar without the gore and the prostitutes.
Yeah. so maybe I should rephrase that. More of a like a Need for Speed style.
Yeah, similar to
Back
Need
in
for
the
Speed.
day.
But yeah, open world. You'll be able to go in and out of all the buildings and
Cool.
find all kinds of little things hidden all over the island. You can go. We also will have a VR mode, so you can go like swimming around underwater. We'll have a treasure hunt thing that's all
cool.
in the coral reef, so you can go do that. So yeah, there's going to be multiple different things. Like you can play with controllers if you want, or
That's what I was going to say. Is this only going to be PC, or are you going to make this where it's downloadable for like Xbox or PlayStation or?
I'm looking at that. I'm checking to see if what the costs are now to put stuff up there. Last time I looked, it was like $100,000 to.
Woo!
Yeah, because the problem is getting them, so they have to do a whole round of testing on those games. Like once you submit the game, and the testing is not cheap. So yeah, that's kind of the big chunk, but that might have changed recently. I don't know. But yeah, so right now it'll be PC, and then we'll look at consoles and stuff as well. But yeah, right now the focus is PC.
Awesome.
Are we getting a Linux port? Just saying.
I could, yes, I could port to Linux and Mac if people really want it.
I just had a
Hey, Corey, he said that you were over the cars. Can we start with Ford Tauruses?
I've been Proton, so we can do that.
I've been trying to figure out actually what the entry level car should be.
It should be a family car, like a minivan or a Taurus, or
like one of the like an old Ford Taurus show.
Yes. No, even go further back than that, like 90s.
Oh man.
Fiesta.
We need the Blues Brothers vehicle.
Hey Dave.
You need the Ford Taurus that's got the wood paint stripe down the side of it.
This is the old Ford Pinto.
Well, there are. I do have a whole library of kind of ambient cars. That's like basic like cars that are parked on the street, cars that the NPCs drive around and stuff. And a lot of those are, generic cars that you guys all like. One of them is actually the Back to the Future car. So
Sweet.
I'll be sprinkling those out. We have splines for all the traffic, and I can just populate all the cars all across the island at once. So yeah, you'll be able to go up and hop in another car if you want, but whenever you die, you won't, that car won't be there for you
You'll
when you
regenerate to
spawn
your own
again.
car.
Use
Yeah, or
base
to
color
no
all
car if
over
you don't have
again.
one.
Oh man.
Hey, Dave.
We'll sell him a horse.
Start on a horse.
You probably already answered this question, or you may have already said it, but I apologize. But my brain kind of. Can you customize your character?
You'll be able to customize your character, your car, your home,
Okay.
all of that.
Okay, I'll just make sure. I knew the other thing. I just trying to check the character thing. Okay, that's cool.
Oh no, you're good.
The next
So,
important question is, what's the CA?
So if you go to playfi.studio, it has it at the top of the website.
yeah, feel free. You and Corey
Yeah,
both
drop links,
share
please.
any of your information in the space. Your contract, your Telegram, all
Okay,
that.
will do.
Yep, and we always like you to do that.
Hey, are
And
you
that way
asking?
people can go in and check it out for themselves.
Jason, just go to the website and go look at the information. Jeez.
So, shoot, I forgot what I was going to ask.
Bang.
So, will people be able to buy lots and stuff like what was it, that island one that I can't remember.
We're going a different route than the purchasing of lots. It'll be more what you would experience in real life. So if you drive up the street and you see a house that you like and it has a for sale sign out front, you walk up to that for sale sign and you can purchase it right there.
Uh-huh.
And so the land will come with the house that you get. And then you'll be able to, once you purchase that and that NFT is in your wallet, anytime you walk up to that house, there's basically an invisible barrier that's a collider box in Unreal. And when you collide with that, it'll check your wallet to see if you have the NFT for that house. If you do, the doors unlock and you can go in and kind of explore your house. If you don't own it, then when you walk up to it, it'll stay locked and people can't get in your house unless you let them in. But yeah, so you won't be able to. You'll own your house. You'll be able to customize it. Like you can add a pool table in there, and then you can have your own game inside your house. That's a pool table where you can have your friends over, and you guys can all play, a pool game for tokens or whatever you guys want to be the reward. So making it to where, when you purchase that NFT, that kind of opens you up to having these other options, like having a pool table where you can generate, a bigger passive income just from having that pool table in your house. So, like when you have people that have different gambling sites they have their community go to or something like that.
So can you buy
You would
businesses as well?
not yet. So we're staying away from businesses at the moment, but later on, that once the island is growing and we're able to figure out what's needed on the island, what isn't needed on the island, then we can start looking at that aspect. But right
That'd be
now,
pretty
I'm just
cool.
trying
So
to.
that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, we're looking at it. People have talked about having car rental businesses and things. So
Yeah.
it's on the list for sure. But right now we're just kind of sticking with the basics of just buying and selling cars, and then we'll deal with renting of cars. Via your NFT getting locked up. While it's being rented, whatever, and then it gets sent back to the owner when the rental period is up. So. But yeah, those are all things that we're looking at. And whenever somebody in the community gives us, an idea or something, we'll add it to the list and kind of revisit it when I have time.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I got an idea. for you.
Oh no.
We've actually, some of us have actually talked about trying to do this, but since you have the gaming experience, I know it's too soon now, but maybe next Halloween season you could have like a purge day and like scatter out some certain items around and maybe charge an entrance fee to be in the purge for one day. And if you survive whatever you've found throughout the city, you get to keep.
Dude, I love that idea. That's awesome.
That would
Yeah,
be
that would be cool.
We've been talking about it for a while. I just don't have the means to do anything like that. But I believe you would be able to make it great.
Yeah, that
so.
would be really cool. That's
I'm
a good
pretty
idea.
sure that's called Seattle. Okay, I'll stop.
Might be San Francisco. That place is crazy.
Woo. Hey, it's legal to crap on the road there.
Dude, no joke. I was in San Francisco one time for a conference, and I was downtown in like the most populated part of the city, and I looked to my left, and there's a dude shooting up heroin into his thigh 5 feet away from a police officer and the guy was standing on the corner of the street, like waiting to cross the street.
Wow.
And I just looked over like, what the hell is going on?
Where did I go?
And the cop didn't give a shit. Like, he was just standing there looking around. I know he saw him. And then another time while I was there, a bunch of people ran into the mall downtown and stole a bunch of, like, it was this nice mall. They went into this area, I guess, where they had high-end purses, and they stole a bunch of purses and ran out of the mall. And then you see the people running out of the mall, and right behind them are, like, 10 police officers, all look like wearing riot gear, and they all had, like, M4 carbines, and were chasing after them. I was like, what in the fuck? Like, that's just at the mall? These guys have that kind of artillery?
Wow.
Yeah. It was a little crazy.
Yeah, I got no desire to go there. I don't
Well,
like
sorry
this.
about that. I went off on a tangent.
So it sounds like with all this building, you're going to be busy a while.
Yeah, for a good amount of time, for sure. I don't know, the island, it's going to be going for the next 6 months to a year as far as development goes. But the crypto ball game, like I said, it's done. I'm just making sure the website and everything is ready so people can see the leaderboards when they play, and I don't have a bunch of people yelling where I can't see my score. So getting that set up, and then I'll shift focus back over to Merc and get the characters, the final characters and weapons in Merc. Right now they're placeholders, but I've already got the models and stuff. I just need to go in there, swap it out, and rig up the animations and stuff for the new weapons, and then that'll be ready, and then I can focus. I'm right now, the smart contract for all the vaults for all of our games is just past its first round of auditing. They had a couple things that they wanted us to modify, so that is happening this evening, and then they will double check it tomorrow just to make sure we're all good. That way we have a rated smart contract that's all audited and good to go. And then, yeah, once that happens, I can submit it to DAP Bay or DAP Radar, and the guys at BNB Smart Chain, their biz dev team that we talked to a couple of weeks ago, have said that they will tweet us out about our new smart contract that's hooked up to Crypto Ball, and they'll tweet out about PlayFi. So we have all that coming on the horizon. So it should be interesting once the smart contract is live and people are playing the game. So they said that's their number one priority, is getting transactions on smart contracts. So they said the more transactions that happen on the smart contracts, the better. Just for anyone out there that's interested in creating a DApp or anything, if it gets a lot of traction, they will tweet it out, just so everyone knows.
Nice.
But yeah, so coming up.
So it sounds awesome what you're doing. And I don't want to leave Corey out. So the crypto ball, how will that benefit the project? Maybe go a little more in depth on that, Corey.
I think that's more of a question for Q, but yeah. Volume on all the utilities we're bringing with the gaming and then the auto dealership utility in Oahu Nights. It's all about getting that volume, getting that price up, and the volume, the great part about that for the holder is reflections, especially if you're holding and not trading. So, yeah, we're trying to collect as much Bitcoin as we can. We're just using different utilities other than just a buy and sell tax in the future.
Sounds good. Let's say, so that's phase 2. No, do you have a phase 3 too? 3-2, that sounds funny.
Well, and it goes back to that question that came through Telegram. We could push on and release things before the partners, but I have to be cognizant, of his time. So phase 3 will be when we have gaming and gaming utility. So
Right. Yeah, even though you're two separate projects, there's some things that one project has to wait on the other project for. Maybe, PlayFi may not have to so much on AutoBTC, but I'm sure your support to him in ways as well.
Yeah, she's been really helpful with, like, whenever I have a level ready to go, she'll come over and test it and tell me, because a lot of the times I'm staring at these levels like day and night, and once you're looking at something for too long, it's just good to get a fresh pair of eyes and to look at it. And I can't really share it in the Telegram community or Twitter or anything because it's stuff we're working on, and so it's got to be kind of private. So yeah, she'll go and test everything out, drive cars around or test out the different levels and let me know where she kind of ran into a hiccup or the ball got stuck or there's maybe a bug on one of the levels where the ball pops out. So she's been really good about kind of trying to break our games basically, because that's what we need, is just somebody in there trying to break the games.
You said she was driving.
Yeah, she when she tried Merc for the first time, she was like, "I've never played a first-person shooter before," and you could tell. But she's getting better though. But yeah, it's interesting, and I know she didn't like the latest update I did with Crypto Ball because the camera normally is like stuck in one spot, and it just makes it, I don't know. To me, it's boring because the camera is not moving around. But the interlink level, I made it to where the camera is attached to the ball. So the camera is like bouncing all over the place, and it makes it more difficult to play the game. But that's what we want, is something that's more difficult so that, people have an actual challenge. But she was getting a little upset with it at the beginning. I'll let her chat about it if she wants.
No, it's fine. It's a different level of difficulty. What were you going to say, Sam?
Well, I'm actually going to have to jump out, so I'm going to leave you guys with Mom. I got to go help the wife with the kiddos. We went trick-or-treating tonight for a trunk-or-treat at his school because they're going on fall break, so she's trying to get them to bed.
Yeah, and they've had candy. Good luck.
Lots. Guys.
Good luck, Sam. We'll record. It's recorded, so if we throw a chair, you'll hear it.
I'll be back. Thank you, guys. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, Sam.
So really, Corey, you do play a big role in PlayFi. He's got to have somebody there who can find out if it's breakable, how fast you can break it. And you see the things that he shared it so long that he's missing.
Oh, for sure. Sometimes you just need a woman's touch. Sorry, but
That's
sometimes you do.
right.
Except for Neri's game, who I promised not to give any feedback on.
Hey, hey, y'all were talking about candy for a second there, and just for fun fact, M&M's stands for Mars and Murray. God, that's my contribution.
Thank you for that bit of information, Arcade. So now we know what
I
M&M
thought it was
stands for.
Mercury.
Thank the Lord for Wikipedia.
Does PlayFi have rewards just for holding, or do you got to play the game?
Rewards like a reward token, but yeah, you can get rewarded playing the game. And if you hold tokens on the ETH side, if you're in the top 10% of holders, with whenever we turn on rev share, which will probably be January of 2025, maybe December, we'll see. But when we do that, then people that are in the top 10% will be eligible for revenue sharing of any projects that pay to have a game made. You guys will get a percentage of that, and it'll just be sent to your wallets that are holding those tokens. So, and it'll be like a native token. It'll be, if it's their game is on ETH, then you'll get ETH, or if their game is USD is on BSC side, then you'll get some kind of native token on the BSC chain, whether it be USDT, BNB, USDC, one of those. But yeah, so we'll be rewarding people that way, and just kind of rewards holding the token and while we grow.
Just what is a top 10 token holder? What percent of the token you have to hold to be a top 10? If I said that right.
It's the top 10%. So excluding any smart contracts or any lock tokens, anything like that, those are all excluded from the top 10%. So last time I checked, we were around like 330 holders. So the top 10%, so the top 33 people will get revenue sharing, but minus smart contracts, which there's probably like 7 or so of those. So it'll be like 25-ish people that would get revenue sharing.
Okay.
So that amount of people will grow as we get more holders. So once we have at like 4,000 holders, then 400 people will be getting revenue sharing.
Gotcha. Anybody else have any questions? I don't see anything in the Telegram.
And if somebody doesn't have a question now and they think of something later, they're always welcome to DM me or just join our Telegram and ask in there. All our people will answer it.
Sounds good.
I had one real quick for Cube. Can you hear me?
Go for it, dude.
Okay. For the revenue sharing, the top 10%, if they're staked, will that still be? Can you still see that as far as token holder count?
Yes. So I can. What we're using right now is UNCX staking, and they have it set up to where I can easily read the people that are staked in there, and I can pull that data. So yeah, we're still thinking about doing the staked holders for revenue sharing, but there's I don't know if I should say. Trying to think of how to say this. Yes, there will be. It'll be for staked holders. Currently, that's not the case, but it'll be for staked holders. But the staking will be moving to a new platform soon. I'm talking with the UNCX people and seeing about getting everything unlocked so we can move everything. But yeah, we can pull the stuff now, but we're waiting until we get final word on some other things before we go further with that. But yes, whichever route we take, it will end up with you have to be staked to earn revenue sharing, which will, just help, control the supply a little bit more and make it to where, it's not going to be crazy long-term staking. So people, or will be able to unlock their tokens if they want. But we want to make sure it's something that people aren't able to stake their tokens for, 6 hours because they know there's a payment coming in and get part of the rev share and then unstake their tokens and sell. So we're trying to make sure that that system isn't exploitable. So yeah, that's what we're working on right now, is just trying to get the ins and outs and all the dynamics of how it will work without having to worry about people taking advantage of the system.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Did not know you had staking.
Yeah, it's weird. I should probably mention that too. So it used to be, if you went to staking.playfi.studio, we had a URL forwarder that would forward you to the actual page on UNCX, but they've killed that, so you can't hyperlink to their pages anymore. So you have to actually go to uncx.network and then go to their page where they have all of their different pools, and you have to look for PlayFi in there. I think we're on page 2 or 3. And then you can stake your tokens. So yeah, it's kind of annoying the way they've set it up to where we can't just hyperlink it straight to the page. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why we're looking for a different platform, just because their platform, I don't know, it's not the greatest anymore.
You need something a little more friendlier.
Yeah, it's secure and everything. That's great, but it's not user friendly at all.
I do have one question. What's the most recommended control wise, game wise, if that makes any sense? Because sometimes some games are good with keyboard and mouse, while other games are kind of best with Xbox controller or PlayStation controller and stuff like that. But just on your thoughts of that.
My favorite is the PlayStation 5 controller. It's really nice. Or the Steam controller. It's really nice too.
Okay. Yeah.
All of our games are set up to work with all of those controllers. So whatever controller you have, it should work with the game. But yeah, my favorite is PlayStation 5 or the Steam controller. They're both really nice.
Okay, cool.
Anybody else have any questions? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, right now our games are on Epic Store, so you can download Merc and play it now if you want. Crypto Ball is on the store, but it's not live yet. Like I said, I got to get the leaderboards and stuff finally finished, and then I'll push that so it's live, so people can download and play that as well. And then once that's running for a little while, then we will start branching out. We'll move the games over so that they're on the Steam store as well, and Hyperplay and a bunch of different places. So we're also looking at Roku, and Netflix has a gaming section, but the Netflix games, if we do anything like that, those games are more mobile type games. So if we did something like that, it would probably have to be developed in Unity, which I know Unity as well. I just don't like it. But we could definitely make games in Unity too. If we needed to, say we got some kind of partnership with Netflix, then we can, make games on their platform as well. So I've got some buddies that work there, and that's on my list to tackle soon too. But yeah, so we're looking at a lot of different avenues. But right now, just based on the games we're doing, I'm just focused on, like I said, PC and getting that all working there, where it's a little bit more of a controlled environment that I have control over. Whereas, if we push a game to Netflix, I have no control over that back end. So I got to make sure everything is solid and, running smoothly before I push to anything like that.
Sounds good. Now, like you said, Unity. So you'd have to pretty much start from scratch again, just to make Netflix work, right? With any game.
Basically. So, I can take, the way it works with Unreal is I can export stuff out of Unreal. So I could export it all as one object, but then I would have to import it into Unity and then rebuild all of the code. In Unreal Engine, it's called blueprints. And then in Unity, it's just raw code, basically. So I'd have to take all of that, convert it over in Unity, and then it would work in Unity as well. So there's a little bit of work involved going from Unreal Engine over to Unity, but yeah, it's doable.
Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't necessarily be as if you had to build it from scratch.
No, and that's the
Because you
thing.
already
Like,
had it.
yeah, and it kind of depends on the game too. Like if
True.
if we're trying to do some racing game that's super realistic, we're going to go Unreal. But if it's a like somebody's talking to me right now about using some NFTs they had created, and I told them like we can make a whack-a-mole game with it. So stuff like that can easily be done in Unity, and then those type of games that we create could be the games that we put on Netflix or Roku, any of those avenues. But yeah, so a lot of it is the game itself and what where I can picture it being on what platform. And some of them, I can tell, like, if it's a whack-a-mole game, it's not going to be super realistic. It'll be, fairly decent 2D graphics, and that stuff does well in Unity. Whereas, if you're needing something with complex shaders and materials and stuff, you're probably going to want to go Unreal. Unity's starting to do more stuff like that, but there's still a lot of work involved in getting it all looking right, just because it's more programmer heavy than it is than Unreal is. Unreal's more artist friendly. So yeah, that's our route right now. We kind of take it one game at a time and figure out the best route. And if it's not, the Unreal route at the moment, that game doesn't. It just kind of gets shelved for now. And once our team grows, and I'm able to push out tasks to people on our team, then they can handle, maybe making a little small port for a game in Unity or something like that. So, but yeah, as we grow, we're just trying to be careful and not growing too fast for the size of our team, so that we don't crash and burn. So,
Yes. Anybody else have any questions for PlayFi or AutoTC? We don't want to keep them on all night long.
I just want God mode so I can just eradicate everybody.
well, I hear you. Everybody wants God mode. Hey, during the beta, you'll be able to put in like a little special button, and you can go fly around if you want. But whenever we're out of beta, that'll be gone.
You fly over the island. Well, one of these days I'm gonna have a computer that I can play Merc on. One of these days.
There you go.
Yes, I was very disappointed that I couldn't play it.
Yeah, they're starting to get cheaper. Thank God. I'm gonna have to get another video card here soon, because my computer can barely keep up with the island when I have everything loaded. So that's fun, but that's mainly because I'm in developer mode, so it takes a lot more resources than like just your average person loading the game up. Yeah, it's basically running 2 copies of the game at the same time. So I'm running the game twice at the same time. That's why my machine's got to be a little beefier.
Yes. Gotta be able to handle both of them.
Yeah, it does not like it at the moment. If I load it up and turn everything on, my machine starts chugging at like 2 frames per second. It's like, what did you do to me? So I've got to turn it off in pieces. So I'll work on like little chunks of the island at a time.
Well, I'm glad you know how to do all that, because yeah, it's all over my head. Well,
Yeah,
guys,
it's a
it's been
lot, but
great. Yeah, it's been great you guys being on here tonight. Sort of a little personal glimpse of you too, so that's pretty cool. Any closing thoughts or anything you want to add, Corey? Anything you want to add before we close out our recording?
she's inside. I'm not sure if she's dealing with children or not. Let me check.
Yeah, she may be busy. Let's say both of these are really
Sorry.
good projects. Go ahead, Corey.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Yeah, we've got 4-year-old twins and a 7-year-old, and we thought we could do this little interview without them, but Grandma had different plans, so I've been kind of waiting on them as we went tonight. But you know, closing thoughts. AutoBTC was really created because David learned how to be a crypto dev through doing gaming. And he wanted to spread that on, and we wanted to do a rewards token that would reflect on a blue chip. It's totally different than his project, which is more of a game studio. And we wanted an honest person to run that. So I feel like me working in compliance is a pretty good honest person, and we needed to keep a lot of things under wraps. So having the small team is definitely helpful with just me and Q. But I'm really focused with Auto right now and helping ourselves, and at the same time helping my husband with PlayFi and helping our partners. But yeah, we're really excited about the new utility coming with the automobile dealership inside of Oahu Nights. Just one more way to earn reflection. So yeah, we were just kind of born out of that frustration with other reflection tokens. And so we thought, well, we have this skill, let's give it a shot. And like I said, I'm not going to be able to do Unreal Engine games anytime soon. That is an acquired skill. But, to be able to represent women in DeFi with a great reflectionary token, I think really kind of, sets us apart, and definitely sets us apart as a different project from PlayFi. So thanks everybody for coming. And Selena, thank you so much for doing these horse races and doing all of your partner buys during the horse races. I think those are, awesome. And it's definitely nice to see your partners buying your project. It's fantastic to see that, especially with this terrible bear market for us altcoins. So
Yes. Well, Corey, I've enjoyed this tonight, and crypto space needs more. I'm just gonna say this because there's just 3 or 4 women in here. There might be 4 or 5. I'm not sure who's all in here now. But anyway, we need more. There needs to be more ladies in the space, and I like to see, um, lady devs out there. So hats off to you for running your project.
I 100% agree. It's good to see, and hopefully we all keep doing well, and the bull's just around the corner. So
I honestly believe it. Like I say, it seems like there's been some excitement building here. For us, it may be more related to us anticipating the new blockchain and our future. But I just feel like there's some excitement building amongst different projects here in on that we're associated with.
no, I agree. There's a bit of an energy. You can feel it almost now.
Yes.
It's starting to come alive. I think once these games come out and people can start earning tokens, and I think it'll be good. It'll give a little jolt of energy to everybody, and yeah, we'll just keep pushing along.
That's the game. Keep doing it. Keep pushing. Again, thanks guys for joining us tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording. But like I say, if anybody has a question you don't want to ask in the Telegram, you can always type it, or you can join in either one of these Telegrams and ask your questions as well.
Actually, are there any YouTube videos done for PlayFi?
We have a couple. There was a guy that makes videos. He's done a couple about us, and then we had a couple that were created that just kind of explain kind of a brief overview of the ecosystem. But if you search on YouTube PlayFi Studio, it should pop up.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Anybody else? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording now.
No.